him, then you're seeking something that's illegitimate.
All right.
In other words, counterfeit.
Come on now.
Now tell me, can you spend counterfeit money? They send you to jail for it. So we have to learn to seek the real deal.
Amen.
And I want to help somebody today because there was a time in my life when I would come to church and by the time I leave, I'd be forgot everything the preacher had said. It's called going to church.
All right.
So going to church don't save you. It's the word. It's the word.
That's what it's called.
It's the word that saves us. It's the word that delivers. It's the word that restores.
All right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Come on, Pastor.
So let this day be the day that you make a decision that you're going to go with Jesus.
Amen.
Why is everybody afraid? Everybody can talk about God, but when you say Jesus,
Amen.
they don't want that. Everybody believes in God. Get it on it. But as I'm concerned, they keep their keys to God. I believe that one alone. The Holy Grail. Watch what you follow.
He ain't nothing up in this house.
See, if you don't
Nothing up in
know,
this house.
if you don't watch it real close, you don't know the counterfeit from the real deal.
All right.
And that's true because people can get up before you and say something that sounds good to you, and you begin to believe it, and it's not even true. Because if it didn't come out of here, if you can't find it in here, they're not referencing back to here, it's false. It's a lie.
Amen.
We all know who the father of lies is.
All right. Yeah.
Speak, man. Speak. Holy Ghost.
See, our hearts can be hardened.
Come on. Come on.
So I'm going to have to deal with some things before you can understand what the truth really is. See, if your heart is hardened where you can't receive the word, then you can't get the truth.
That's right. Amen.
Faith does come by hearing. You got to keep hearing. You got to keep hearing. You got to read. And understand for yourself who the Lord is.
Amen.
I was telling one day coming to church this morning that everybody want to put success on how much money and how much junk you got.
Right. That's right.
But God calls success knowing Him.
Amen.
Yeah, He calls success knowing Him. That means you are temperament now to where if He says something through the man of God or through anybody. Because I saw in the book one time where you were speaking through a donkey. So you don't never know who God's going to speak to you. But you got to have an ear to hear.
Amen.
You got to have an ear to hear. I heard a testimony from a young lady from Columbia. Her dad had a church with like 200,000 folks. Now, you know what goes on in Columbia. There's a lot of drug cartels, everything. They said at a stop light one day. Somebody pulled up beside her and started shooting into the car. She sat on her mother's lap. Her dad sat on there. Dad got hit. Her mom got hit. Neither one of them died. But from that day forward, she understood who the Lord was. Not that she didn't know beforehand, but He showed her how somebody can have point blank range on you, trying to take you out, and God says no. And listening to her testify about their church reminds me a lot of our church. She talked about how they prayed and how they prayed and how they prayed, and people begin to come. And people begin to come. And her daddy was wondering how was they going to deal with all the people. But guess what he had to do? Just like they said the other night, he had to begin to replicate himself in some stunning.
Amen.
In order to handle what God was bringing to him. See, that's what I'm saying. You have to get up off the bench and get into the game. Check in. Check in. It's not about riding the bench.
Amen.
So when I play ball, I never like riding the bench. And I ain't finna ride the bench right now for the Lord. I got to get out there. That was encouraging to me to see how all that happened. See, we, like Pastor says, we follow the Lord. You just have to follow.
That's right.
You don't always know where it's going,
Amen.
but you have to be have a heart,
Yeah.
have the understanding to follow,
Yes.
and know that He won't lead you wrong. He said He'll never leave us or forsake us. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
See, when everybody else counts you out, you know, I can imagine now they say this little skinny boy off of Bayou Jacko Street in Natchez, Louisiana, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now. All he ever do is chase after basketball and chase girls. But
Amen.
Amen.
I can't take no credit,
Amen.
not zilch,
Yes, Lord.
for what God has done for me.
Come on here.
But see, I had to humble myself. I had
Yes.
to see the error of my ways.
Yes.
I had to become more obedient to what the Word was saying.
Yes, Lord.
I had to submit myself to the man of God. See, we can't continue to be desensitized. See, the world has desensitized us.
That's right.
What we call things that used to be bad is okay now.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, the things that were, you know, we are desensitized.
Yeah.
That comes from watching TV. Everything that's on TV is like this now. So you have to be careful what you let into your eye gates, to your ear gates.
Amen.
Oh, you can say it don't matter. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. See,
Amen.
how would you know what Jay-Z sounds like if you never heard it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Influence.
That's what I'm saying. So if you could, the more you can block out, the more you can more likely understand what you need to be doing.
Focus, focus.
We are losing, especially our young black men. We are losing because we are looking at something that's so superficial and false, and we ride with it.
All right.
When God is saying it's time for the sons to rise up,
Amen.
I'm talking about the sons of God, the believers.
Amen.
It's time for us to rise up and be who the Lord has called us to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of our problems deal with our men, deal with us, because we don't want to stand up. You know, there's some of us still in our minds' wings, or some of us may be just caught up. But we have to be.